Love Letter is a game that looks tiny, but delivers a surprising amount of strategy, deduction, and player interaction. Today, I'm reviewing Love Letter, a quick and clever deduction game where you try to win the princess's trust by delivering a message to her, preferably without being publicly humiliated by your friends in the process. Love Letter was originally designed by Seiji Kanai and first published in 2012. However, for this review, I will be talking about the newer 2019 edition published by Z-Man Games, which includes a few new features. It now supports up to 6 players and introduces 2 new characters, all of which create fresh interactions while keeping the fast, simple structure the game is known for. It's fast, easy to learn, highly replayable, and full of moments where you point across the table and say, "I knew you had the princess." In this review, I'll explain the premise of the game, walk through the rules, and discuss what the gameplay experience is really like. In Love Letter, the princess is searching for someone she can trust as she prepares to take the throne. Each player is trying to send her a message, but cannot deliver it directly. Instead, you rely on the characters in her life, guards, nobles, friends, and advisors, each with their own abilities. The player who survives the round or ends with the highest value card earns a favor token. The first to acquire a certain set number of tokens, depending on the amount of players, wins. Love Letter contains very few components, with only 21 character cards, player reference cards, 13 favor tokens, and a small felt bag or box depending on the edition. Each card shows a number from 0 to 9 and a special ability. The number determines the strength, and the ability determines what action you perform on your turn and how the game unfolds. The small deck size keeps the game fast and easy to manage, while still allowing for a range of strategic interactions. Here are all the cards and their abilities from the game. First of all, we have the Spy. At the lowest value card, the Spy gains a favor token if no one else plays or discards another Spy that round. Next we have the Guard, sitting at 1 strength point. Guess another player's card. If you're right, they're eliminated. However, you cannot guess another guard. Next up we have the Priest, sitting at number 2. The Priest gives you the ability to look at another player's card and compare. Similarly, the Baron, sitting at number 3, compares hands with another player, however this time the lower card is eliminated from the round. Next up we have the Handmaid, sitting at a strength of 4. The Handmaid protects you from being targeted from any ability until your next turn. After that we have the Prince, sitting at 5. The Prince makes a player discard their hand and draw a new card. Up next we have the Chancellor, at a strength of 6. When you play the Chancellor, draw 2 cards, choose 1 card, and return the other 2 to the bottom of the deck in any order. Next up we have the King at strength 7. When you play the King, you have the ability to swap hands with another player. After that we have the Countess, sitting at number 8, the second strongest card in the game, based on the value. The Countess must be played if you have the King or Prince in hand. Lastly we have the Princess, the strongest card in terms of value on the deck. However, it could also be the weakest, because if you discard the Princess for any reason, you are immediately eliminated from the round. Everyone starts with 1 card. On your turn, you draw 1 card, choose one of the 2 cards in your hand to play, and follow the ability on that card. Your played card always stays in your play area face up, and you keep placing played cards faced up on top of them. At the end of the round, if more than 1 player is still in, the highest value card wins the round. Some cards will inevitably knock you out of the current round. When or if this happens, you discard your hand face up in front of you without applying any of the card effects. Until the next round, card effects won't affect you and your turn is skipped. The rules state that it's a good idea to flip your card to the broken seal side as a reminder. It's important in Love Letter to make sure that everyone knows which cards were played and which cards are still hiding in the deck. Because of this, any played or discarded card must always be visible to everyone on the table. The round will end in either one of 2 ways, when the deck runs out, or when only 1 player is left standing. If after any turn, at any point in the game, the deck runs out, all active players reveal and compare the cards in their hand. If you have the highest value card, you win the round and gain 1 favor token. Your letter to the princess was successfully delivered. If there's a tie, all tied players win the round and each gain a favor token. If there is only 1 player standing, the round immediately ends and that player receives 1 favor token. Depending on how many people are playing the game, it takes a different amount of favor tokens to win. For 2 players, it's 6. For 3 players, it's 5. For 4 players, 4. 5 players, 3. And 6 players, also 3. Here's an example of how a turn could unfold. A player begins with a handmaid. They draw a prince. Choosing to play the prince, they force another player to discard and draw a new card. This suddenly reshapes the information at the table. Maybe the targeted player was holding a powerful card. Maybe they now reveal something weaker. These small actions can significantly shift the pace and tone of a round. The experience of playing Love Letter is tense in a light-hearted, humorous way. Every decision feels meaningful because you only ever control 1 card at a time. The game becomes a blend of deduction, memory, bluffing, and reading other players. Love Letter moves quickly, but the psychological aspect runs deeper than the simple rules suggest. When a card is played, it often reveals something about the other player's hand, intentions, or assumptions. This creates an ongoing layer of social interpretation. In groups of 4 to 6 players, the table becomes energetic, unpredictable, and often humorous.
Hello?
In smaller groups, the game becomes sharper and more controlled, with deduction playing a larger role. So what does Love Letter do well? Well, Love Letter has simple rules that are easy to teach, fast rounds that encourage repeated play, strong social interaction and memorable moments, meaningful deduction despite the small deck, and scales well from 2 to 6 players. On the contrary, Love Letter can lack in a few places. Player elimination can remove you really early in a round, so you don't get to play much. Rounds can feel unpredictable with larger groups. Some characters reward late game survival in swingy ways. And it's not ideal for players who dislike bluffing or being targeted, but just play a different game. Overall, Love Letter is one of the best travel games ever made. Whether you're playing the older edition or the newest 2019 edition I just covered, it's fast, clever, and endlessly replayable. It's not meant to provide deep, multi-layered strategy, but rather a short social game full of dramatic reveals and quick decisions. If you want something portable, accessible, and consistently entertaining, Love Letter is an excellent choice. Thanks for watching my review of Love Letter. If you're looking for a fast, clever, pocket-sized game with a big personality, this game might be exactly what you're looking for. Thanks for watching, and may your guesses always be correct.